John, just get moving, warm up. Like, we're just gonna move, no rolling unless you want to. I can roll you, but you're gonna hold time on rolling for a while. And Jason has been training for a few years and also took some breaks in it. But I've been working with him. He's really good. Summer, he's really good. And then I took a break for it. But anyways, he's real good at mobility. And flexibility. With you, we just want to get you moving. Like me, my body tightens up, my muscles just. So I'll show you a full of what we've been working on. And then when I'm taking three, you just reach back in, working on bars. So one little submission, those are fun to know. But then reverse it back, reverse engineering to how to do it. Okay. I think that's just the best thing. If that sounds good to you.
Anything's good to me.
Cool. So I'm put you on the spot to remember it, or do you want me to show you one time? The whole drill from side control to the far arm to the bars. It's just the same drill. If you want me to show it, then you do it.
Show it on me, just so I can remember, because
I'm just
we
trying
did
to
a couple transitions with the darts.
Yeah, I'm trying to wire your brain so like, I might call you, what were we working? Because then you might be able to keep the goals.
Yeah,
It's cool.
because we did a couple drills. So is it the dump and then I'm gonna run away?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it is, but it's all contingent on what our partner does.
Yeah.
So the simulation right now is we're doing open bar, half bar, and I'm passing. And as I pass, my objective is to get to side control. That's like traditional sport jiu-jitsu. But I want you guys, I want our students to start thinking about, this is a good spot. Let me settle.
Yeah.
To relate to shoot with a communicator and cover concealment. I'm set here in the side control position, but let me make you think I'm going to go to the opposite attack to get the near side attack to let you open up this opportunity. Once I give you that explanation, you'll see what I'm passing. Oh, I'm getting side control. It's doing a good job. Keep going. So I settle in. What I did is I went from side control. I'm not able to settle in because he's doing a good job at that. I'm short. I probably won't do this attack too much because of my body length and torso, but I'm telling taller people or longer people. I started attacking his far side arm. He's like, oh no, I don't want that. I encourage him to roll to protect this arm, and I trapped his elbow with my body. I reached over his head, settled into 12 bars. There's a lot of little details there. So, now you can see.
Okay, so I'm gonna encourage the jump. Tap this arm. That's right. But then I need to.
Sorry, I took it. It's all good.
This is where I get confused on the darts.
I can do GP sets in my own.
Well, mine are back too.
Yeah, we're good. We're back. So, the breakdown this one is to reverse engineer, meet you on your side. A darce is going from under his armpit through his neck. So, reaching it from his armpit to his neck. I'm going in elbow deep. I'm trying to get his neck into the pit of my elbow. And then I'm reaching through, grabbing my hand. If you can't have use of your hand, and you have the length to punch that bottom hand, you can go through with your wrist and bring it up. You don't have to necessarily grab right now. So we're not using our thumb, we're just making a fishing hook. So this is the finishing component of it. I'm trapping his arm into his neck, reaching elbow deep into his neck. This front of the deltoid is on this side of his neck. This one's coming in under his neck and out of his back. So if I try to finish here, you can see I barely. Just get your boat forward. If my chest is on top of his deltoid, I don't have the reach to go here. So what I do is I push his head, I create space. Some people grab here, some people grab here, and then I flatten my chest out. I flatten my chest out and I bring my elbows in close. And I try to scoop across compress. So that's the finishing component. So to reverse it from there, I go here. This is all the reverse. Boom. Yeah. Side control. Settle in. Jump bite. So attacking this way side. Like I'm going for Americana. He reaches through. So if I go on the top of his head, oh no. If I go on top of his head, it will be a different application. So what I have to do is, threaten this arm to weave in and over. So I know you felt a lot of pressure on your rib there. That's not, I was incidental, I wasn't trying to do that. But this is like a threat that I don't want him to know. I gotta trap that head now. So what I do is settle in here, so I don't let him escape. I encourage him to roll to his back. I alleviate the pressure. I go get that grip on my hand. And I'm walking that elbow in. And I'm using my right hand to push, keep his back off the mat. If he goes flat on the mat, I'll go to the north side. I'm immediately posting over my chest to chest. All my weight's on his chest and on my hand. So I'm not even worried about that finish of the Darce. It's just the transition from side control, the tap the arm.
Yeah.
There isn't a tap there. I'm not really worried about it because I'm not in it. If I'm not good at jiu-jitsu and I'm shorter, I'm over the center of gravity, he rolls with his left leg. Immediately reverse the flow. So that's what we're trying to avoid. I'm trying to stay heavy on this far side, close to that hip. When he's going for that little turn, it's that little overhook rolling in there. And he's not connecting that just yet because we haven't drilled it. We're finishing on the finish.
Yeah.
So
Now it's trying to stop the head control.
it's all good.
Just see, like, that's not.
But this is why these, this is why these flows are good.
Yeah.
Because I'm showing you the finishing mechanism. But that finish doesn't matter if you don't get settled, because if you start defending, you're going to get more settled.
Yeah.
So we'll drill it a couple of times for the flow, and then we'll drill it a couple of times with I'm defending, I get flat on my back, and you keep more south. There's another trick there. So that sound good? Makes sense? So you're on me. That is, he needs the right reaction time. Right, so I'm trying to frame. Boom. Left hand. That's right. So if you need the head around. That's right. So now there's a
Weave in the neck with that
That's
pressure
good.
there.
That's good, yeah. And that's what just helps the connection. It's not looking at smashing.
So it can pull through.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
Which is worried about more the controlling, but not forcing the muscle into the cool.
Sit on my weight.
Way underneath you finish it. Whatever grip you had, iron it was going to come.
Yeah, I settled a little more before I went for the
That's
nets.
on the living room. Relax and slow. Left hand over. Yeah, beautiful.
And then
If you get there, that's fine. We'll settle on that. Because I know where your hand's at.
Well, I wasn't being squeezed.
No, I know you were fine, but if you were here, that's a good control.
I just did this for now.
Cool. Yeah, just do what you can. But if what you can do is encourage, not you, this is for both of you, and defending enough. As I'm coming in for this application here, if I don't really have it, what I'll sometimes do is leave this left one hanging here, disconnect, push his shoulder up, and get it caught in my elbow pit. And I can also come back, pivot a little bit, push his head into my elbow pit. This is what it feels like. Is your shoulder neck all right? Like I'm not gonna be hard. Let me get you on your side, and you'll feel the encouragement. I'm doing my okay, I'm attacking your arm. Through, and you roll to your left. So if you start trying to get your shoulder back on the back, I'm gonna curve this, and curve that.
Well, okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So, yeah, because that's what we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose that much stop position. You go. Yep. If you want to keep this hand straight and use your right hand to push my shoulder blade even more towards the front door. Yep. Use your right hand to palm the back. Yeah. Let's see. And then you can also push my head into your elbow pit. Oh, yeah, that's great. You can feel how much tighter that got. It took away all that space. So one more time. So right here, punch this to the mat and underhooking the backside palm of this. Right there. See how that feels loose?
Yeah.
So when you get there, go ahead and drop, reach under my neck with this hand. With your right hand, reach behind me and try to catch your own fingers. And what you're trying to do is prevent me from going flat.
Right.
I want you to encourage me to elevate your chest a little bit. Get out. Now drop this elbow. Now you can start trying to. Beautiful. Your chest and hip now just block my elbow from going. That little flow is going to help control. So I'm going to try it on John a couple times and then we go to him. You're just going to feel the resistance. Because we're trying to encourage our opponent, our top person to win at this position.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and now we'll add in the submissions. You're good. Just maintain control of the control. Your ribs are going to keep his elbow in place. Can you get your own hand? You're probably feeling
I just open the elbow.
Yeah, I got notes on it.
well, see, you're probably feeling that cutting blade in that bottom side of the neck.
Yeah, a little bit.
And before you know it, I want you to think of you're not rushing to submission, you're rushing to control so that they're carrying your weight.
Yeah.
So you're being light so they they think they're gonna escape, but you're not, you're just getting them to kill blocks. Just go, I'm gonna submit you here, and if you defend on your back, I'm gonna give you more stop shot. Let's do it one more time, and then John will do a couple times.
Okay.
And we'll work on finishing darts and finishing more stop shot. You can finish with your S grip. So John was telling me you can finish with this.
Yeah.
And this just as easily as you can finish with this. If you guys don't think you get it, I finish with this on the bigger guys because I can't always get my arm all the way through.
If I have enough pressure down, I can close the shoulder on the neck.
You can play with it. This is all just a control position. It's not
I feel like it's a real slow thing to do.
It is.
Because I feel like there's so much control, you can just kind of let them sit into it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an anaconda, python type of constriction.
Yeah, slow constriction.
Let them, and the more they wiggle, the higher that shoulder is. Right here, you can use your own hand, use your position, use your ribs to float his elbow over his knee. Sprawl a little bit right here, instead of close to your head, shoulder up, get your knees out. You feel how that just sunk in?
Yeah.
Roll his body with your right hand, push his body from the there you go. And you can finish right there on the easy, beautiful. So you can see that control you have, as long as
You
you
really need to get them up there before you do anything.
yeah. And so I'm going to show you the north-south choke, because the north-south choke is very subtle and you can't do anything. What I'm essentially going to do is I'm going to choke him with my, the front of my deltoid, and I want to get on this side or under this side under the jaw, but if you check the change in your chest, if he gets here, it's going to be harder. So what I do is I get my arm underneath his neck to encourage this like CPR opening up of the airway. So I put my forearm like this on everything there. So the north-south shoulder is hard to see, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to scoop my shoulder so it goes towards his chest, scoops under his jaw. If I get too high, what I'm going to do is basically crush his neck and just crush his jaw, which isn't going to show. That's fine. His defense for this is to put his chin into my ribs. Because what I'm trying to do is if my ribs are here, I'm trying to sink my ribs into pushing his face away. I'm trying to push his face away to open up this right here. And this is all I need. Just this amount of pressure right here, and I'm going to start putting him to sleep. I can already feel your pulse. You can feel your heart right there. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I really need. So it's really a gentle touch is contact with me. If I'm too high, I'll be on his jawbone. If I'm too low, I'll be on his clavicle, and it'll just leave the opening here. So the finishing mechanics of this is to get in front of my shoulder here. Little fucking inverted, flexible motherfuckers will bring their knees up and over. Can you bring your knees up to my hands? And I'll take my back. So what I have to do while I'm simultaneously doing this, push his hand down, and I like to push his hand down to open up this workspace, but I'm trying to pin his hips, so that if I do have to do a contingency plan, I post on his hips as he works. So when I'm here to try to hurt. So finishing is going to be overlooking. From this darce, it gets to the north-south, gets on his back, and I'm trying to separate his arm from his elbow. I mean, his arm from his face. This is his defense. So I'm overhooking, and I'm going my weight on the elbow. It's not actually on the ground yet. I'm just carrying all my weight on his right shoulder.
Right.
So this is uncomfortable, and he doesn't like it. So the more he fights with this, the more it allows me to sink my shoulder into his. I push down. Now see how my body's all right here on the mat? I don't want to always be here. The only reason why I'm slinking down low is he's already feeling my ribs starting to open up his head. What he would want to do, I'm trying to slip my ribs in here to encourage this. He's knowing this. I just want to turn your head in my ribs. This sucks, especially when you're sweaty because you're sucking in. You feel your frame, put your chin in my ribs, and using it as a frame. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to avoid. So instead of me doubling down, going right into his jaw, I'm going to swing down. Right here, the door for the foot. Head open. Crank it open.
It starts getting dark even without that. It's just so much smothering, it feels like, there's all this pressure right here. And then there's like, oh, shit.
Yeah. So the finishing mechanism is, once I open that up, push his hand down, I come back in. This is important. Palm down, I go like this, and I'm trying to drop. I'm not contracting all my muscles. I'm relaxing everything. I'm trying to drop the front of my deltoid to my wrist bars. I'm doing this. I'm literally just posting on my feet. All my weight is on my shoulder. If he starts to squirm, I'm posting out here. I got this wide base. His neck should be locked in. I'm just trying to find that sweet spot. People will teach on the thigh, it makes you nice and heavy. I just like putting all that accent on the front of the shoulder. So she'll chop one more time and I'll show you one more time. You're not part of it. You're not shitting in that head. So we'll apply that now. So come in here, in this position. Get his hand down. Sling to get his face away. I go to S grip. Once I get my S grip, my left elbow sitting on the mat. Plank. And I'm almost rotating clockwise. When I get here, I start off the chest space. Nice, you know. I didn't.
That's over for me.
No, I get what I'm saying. Is sometimes you don't know, like, oh, that's what I'm looking for. We'll stop.
Yeah.
So I'm losing the start. So you really jump right here. This other way. That's so. You know, feel one more time. I'm gonna try.
I'll watch or try.
Try on me. And you try to talk him through. So you're over here. Yeah, I do
expenditures, think you keep like an 80 grand. If you go to a mass district, you didn't flex.
I think when I flexed over here, it made a hole there.
It does, so it's almost counterintuitive. Like
Yeah, it's different.
He's
contracting.
still on his thighs to be able to breathe. I feel like that's all.
He's gonna play. You're gonna play with it because you might. They both work. I prefer the toes,
Yeah,
and I like wide toes, but people teach it from the thighs. I'm not saying
yeah.
figure out what works for you. Oh, you're so good at this. There you go. So good for you right there. It's gonna be good for you.
Okay.
So it's when I'm coming through, and I just can't get under this elbow.
Yeah, but you've already got this set
I'm
up.
still here.
Yeah.
So that's fine. I'm gonna come down. That's great.
I need bigger arms.
I need more space, so you're good. More space there, forehead to the mat, if you can't think of focusing there. And now best grip, or just one hand, doesn't matter. Walk your feet clockwise, and stand your chest, inhale big, deep inhale.
Okay. So it's real subtle because first of all, you can't feel the front of your shoulder where it's at. What I'm feeling is a compression here. The moment you walk clockwise, it opens me up even more.
Yeah,
And there's a little playful thing you can do is if you're able to push my hand down, you can push my shoulder aside,
yeah.
which is what you did. So now, this time when you go, you get that control position, and you get everything where you need it to be, counterclockwise wide, to open up my
Move
neck.
your head.
I want you to think of faking of putting your forehead down. You're not trying to,
Okay,
but what that does is it drops your shoulder to my neck.
okay.
Just get chiropractic.
Mike loves it. It's free adjustments.
But you can see the mechanism, you can feel the resistance.
The head crank.
This is a position for executive. I think I'm getting my arm up.
Nice grip. Control, forehead to the mat. Walk clockwise. Keep going. Keep going, keep going. Yeah, keep going. That's what I'm at. Yeah, no, you're going. You're good. I'm with that.
That was so much control right there.
I wasn't using it, I was just moving around, getting real tight, spun over.
So now what I want you to do is continue with that same control you felt this last week. The more I struggle, the tighter it gets. So now I'm going to struggle a little bit, not to get out, you're still going to win, obviously, but I want you to feel it's fuel. Unless I do my effective defense, which I know what they are, you just sit there all fucking day.
Yeah.
Don't match the chaos.
That's great. That's what I want, like, for the top position around the clients. I want them to swarm. If you can see, I'm kind of doing what looks like I'm doing something. I know that's not easy.
You're just wasting energy.
My flip flopping on my legs and my hips just lets you know it's something tighter. And you had control. And because I couldn't turn, now it's just you can be against it. So that is a good set of little motions to go into the north south stroke, but I kind of want to go and finish in the darks. get you side control over here.
Yeah, cool.
There's a couple of things.
Still a tough one for me. Couple weeks of it.
The reason why this is hard for you is because we usually teach the darts from this side control. And I'm getting this head on together here.
Yeah, we did that on the first day, and I was like, oh, okay, I think I'm starting to get it.
And then usually routine here.
Yeah.
So this is why Jason's getting a little mixed up with the darts. The darts comes from the arm that come around the head, and what I'm trying to do is control the head posture. Because if he starts framing knee shielding, pushing, creating space between my shoulder and his shoulder, I can't control his head now. And if I can't control the elbow, I only have his head. So anybody who's spent like 4 or 5 minutes on the mat will keep their elbow tight, which is fine. There's other things that we're going to do, but for this one, we're working on direction. This position, which is where it's always taught day one, but what I'm teaching you guys is letting you guys get here. I'm actually coming from this side, to your left a little bit. I'm getting the darts from this position. It's an inverted or upside down darts. My body's now behind him instead of in front of him.
Yeah.
And this is why it feels weird to you. Because
Yeah.
we're not focusing on entry. But it's still a darts because I'm coming in under his neck and I'm keeping the shoulder trap. My hand's coming out. Whereas normally I can on this side. This is what's throwing the darts. When I come here, going for the stars, I'm trying to occupy this space. Right now I'm keeping my knees open so you can see. But normally I would keep my knees wide and my hands low. He already feels the pressure coming down his shoulder.
Yeah.
Being nice, I told him.
Push away all of a sudden.
Yeah, also so he doesn't pass out on the top. But normally in a roll, the more pressure I get in here, the more I need to roll back to his right. And I don't want that, so I don't have to adjust here, there's no suction. Right here, I'm just giving him just enough room to keep in trouble. So, I'm here, this extra is only working so far. What I'm going to do is, with my knees out, push his head in, punch through. Punch through. Now I can start swinging and go straight to the left. Really punch. So I'll do the short choke because of my short arm. We got a guy here that's 6'2", 6'3". I'll let him punch through and go like this.
Yeah.
So, because I'm barrel chested, you guys play like this. So, we'll work on that machine again. Your gable grip is just fine. Boom, and then just arch it out.
Probably do this for right now. This can't be the one.
Yeah, we'll do it once or twice a week sometimes. I just wanted to do it.
That's what I've been doing on all of them. I haven't done this. For some reason, when I grip over this, so I just been leaving that up.
This is for most of my review introduction again. And he'll start getting this little back to the target later. So we'll do this one again.
Okay. There we go. Control. That's what I was working on last week. The chest things over here.
Yeah, this is the guard from this side and side control. Perfect. This is what I was going on with him because this first move that I showed you today was a little confusing at first.
Yeah.
So we're just going to finish with this for John.
Okay.
And then with this one, I want you to do that again, and then we're going to go to the far side one.
Just do one more.
Yeah.
So this was a big part for me. It's just like, okay, well, I get comfortable here first.
That's a tough one.
No, not quite. Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing, you should right here. Maybe arch it back, maybe before you elbows.
It was, I needed to pay attention to that since then.
And he also, at one point, adjusted, if you're reaching in, before you punch through he adjusted where his ear position is. His ear dropped down almost to my lap for a rib. It allowed him to punch his right elbow underneath my neck all the way through and really punch through to finish, just figure 4 or aspirin, whatever that is.
But then I found I had to also bring my body around in order to get a good reach. Because here I just was like, I can't. And then the chest off.
Now, that first one, we do the full flow. If you tap the storm, I'm not gonna worry about this. There we go.
Oh, your head.
Squirmy! Yeah.
That's gonna be a realistic goal.
Yeah. I had to abandon the idea of grabbing here.
Go back to this one. Encourage them. So for John, we're gonna work on the guards. This side control, I'm gonna tap you. With this, I can give you an half guard outside or inside control, but I'm trying to get this thing up. And I call it a double cradle. I'm using this palm up, using my rock climber fingers. They're not spread, but I'm kind of digging into the bottom portion of the neck muscles right here. And then this other hand, the top side hand, I'm getting to the crown of the head. I'm trying not to overlap my fingers. I'm trying to get to the end of this fulcrum so I'm able to compromise this posture because if he just has his chin up, he's pretty strong in his shoulder side. So I reach in. He's going to be a naive practitioner. He's going to give me this elbow. So I'm trying to give him this what I call the key. You'll get a lot of guys that do, a lot of players that do this and keep their elbow tight. That just opens up our position. For this, I'll start here. So I'm rock climbing, using my fingertips. Climb out. So I can really hold on to a different option with just this right hand. Good posture up front. I'm pretty strong. This just has to, and I put all my weight on his body. My only touch right now is my toes, and then this wall, I'll bring this elbow tight. This sucks.
What if he shrimps into?
Good.
Tuck in, right into the chest.
I'm still controlling that hand up. So there's a lot of things that does about to find. So if you can't move, back to the chest. What they'll do sometimes is, so is that too much? What they'll do a lot of times to save themselves here is they'll half guard up. And like you're saying, he could shrink, but now he feels safe here. It doesn't matter because I want what I have right now.
Right.
So, yes, you can't shrink, you frame, you show, you do a lot of things like that. But I'm trying to avoid this. I don't care if you guys do show those out, but there's a lot.
Yeah, because I want to get the heck out of here.
So I transition from this double cradle grip, where I have one control, I have two. This becomes my dominant control. So I can loosen this grip. Look at where my jaw is on my shoulder. I want my ear a little bit lower. So everything over here prevents my arm from punching through. When I lower my ear, it feels like I'm going to lose it. I want my ear in front is not on his ribs so that I can punch my elbow through. I'll do this double cradle. Boom. Over shoulder. Down control. Release this one. Adjust my elbow. Punch through. Again. I did a short trip so I can't punch through. But normally I would punch through, rotate my thumb and grab it back and my go to it. Tricep. Bring it out.
Well, as soon as you sink your weight down, my yeah, my neck is just like crank.
So the whole thing is if I stay in this workspace right here, I can't punch this elbow. So, no, you should.
Oh, okay.
If I see up here on the shoulder, I can only punch my arm so far. This little adjustment. Yeah, get my little arm through. So, you see credit to him. Now all we're trying to do is work on getting our arm through. back issue to him to do. And this hand's gonna be on the crown of his head, palm there. Okay? So this, if you let go of this here, posture with no film, you should be able to control just that.
Yeah.
Okay? But when you get this double one, the second one on top of the crown, bring it in nice tuck in. You should be able to maintain this position and loosen this. Adjust your ear beautifully. When you punch through, I want you to go thumb down. Thumb down like this. Make a northern palm over and grab the forearm. And now rotate this back up towards you. So you rotate your elbow. Right. We're going to go from thumb down to thumb up. And grab it.
Like that?
Yeah. So if you can't do that, that's fine. All you need to do is just make a fist and punch through the right here. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So if you can't get to this, so he's having, he couldn't do that, so can you make a fist and hook on your wrist?
Fist and.
Like fist through.
If that hurts, then no. But all
This is fine as long as I'm like, when you went to say pull up on this. I mean, maybe they pull it out tomorrow.
Can you get your wrist over, drag it over?
Yeah.
Try that. Try the wrist.
That's pretty much what I did.
Yeah, it's the wrist, so we're not even focus on three, don't you?
Okay.
Focus on the wrist.
Oh, sorry.
You're good, no, this is confusing people for you, yeah. Double grade.
Great.
Okay.
And then just squeeze.
So right here, what I want you to do is lower your chest, widen your knees, arch your back, take a deep breath. It's that subtle. It's that subtle. It just starts to bring the tongue.
Yeah.
So I'll show you how it goes.
Oh, Joe, yeah.
The difference between muscle contraction, you're going to do it on the right side. You do this head on. Nice and hard. As opposed to. It's very subtle, but that allows me to control, because the more I tighten this thing like evaluation, try to control that little that bar so it's going to pop out. I want to be just subtle enough to do it. Okay, cool. That might be on my knee. This might be on my knee.
Yeah.
You draping your wrist over, which is enough. I want to make sure you guys are looking at it.
I do.
Okay. Okay. Are you out here 10 minutes before that?
At 10.
Okay, cool. So
Right. So.
we'll revisit this. Is there any questions you want to do anymore? For fun, I want to go back to one season. We're going to choose.
Okay.
So I don't know how much you can do. You should be able to drape this one through deep enough where you're not using this hand. And
I can use these 3 fingers.
that's what I mean. We don't need these things.
Yeah.
But I want you to think of this draping the inside of the wrist where you normally take a pulse or whatever. We're going to be choking with our right hand. You can choke whichever hand you want. Okay? So let me get Jason to show you the time. I'm going to be on my knees because of the position I'm going to do. You have my superhero symbol to the cape superhero symbol for him. So when we try to choke, a lot of times people think it's from here and I'm doing cross-tracheal compression, trachea. I'm not trying to do that. What I'm really trying to do is get up. So my chest is higher because I'm shorter. I'm trying to get my elbow under his chin, as you can see. On either side of his neck, I've got my forearm and my bicep. It's not my bicep muscle as much as just the surface area where I can finish it just like this. And if he starts counting, just like that. He's still talking. Tell me when he starts getting retarded. So he can still breathe, but one thing is that not the So the concept of this is when I have a bigger opponent and I can't sink in this where it can choke like I want it, I'll just do the palm to this. But what this does also opens up, they start panicking, I can go to short chokes, or I can go like that. So what I'm trying to do here is get elbow deep. I'm using it up here. So I'm trying to get elbow deep instead of elbow here like a Spartan or a Roman legion. I'm not trying to go across this. I'm trying to go here, so spider crawl, spider crawl. I'll push the shoulder up so that I'm grabbing the back of the scapula here. I'm using my little rock climber grip. I'm going to make a butterfly. I think of a butterfly behind his neck. What this does is it affords me the ability to not do this. Because if we're in a real fight and MMA fight, I can break my elbow right here. So if I reach through to figure 4, reach through, pull my elbow down, I mean pull Roll your shoulder forward, left shoulder. There's an immediate count. So in order to avoid that, I get to the seatbelt, arm flared, get to stand, I'm keeping my head connected, boom, I make my little butterfly, and I'm bringing my hand up and around. Jason, I'm coming in, making my butterfly, I'm keeping my hands open, and look how my elbow, my right elbow starts to drop in. I'm just trying to walk this. All I'm trying to do is make this stay small. When I get ready here, I make a crunch, and inhale the expanding lungs helps take away the space. So I'll do it to Jason, and you'll see it kind of comes on fast, and on that little fast. Right here, Frank. Feels weird.
Yeah, well, and your forearm is digging in my chin at the same time too, so it's uncomfortable, so I can choke.
So this is just to get the finishing mechanism. How we get to the back and how you control the back, that's a whole other fucking system.
Yeah.
But I'm here, right into the seatbelt, and I'm trying to, he's already good, tuck his chin, let you not be as good at tucking your chin. So this is where you don't want to be when you're getting choked. I want you to feel the finishing mechanism. That's a subtle that I need to do. So,
Okay.
again, come in here, make it my butterfly. That's how I think it. I don't know what you're talking about. Butterfly. Walking if I can, if not, just bring them together. And instead of popping the doll head off, I'm trying to make a crunch to bring my elbow to the navel. And so in case you want to hear this, try to do it to me. So you're gonna do it to me.
Butterfly, see, I just said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. So your left hand's gonna go over your right wrist.
Okay. Left hand.
I don't even want to see it in my peripheral.
Okay. Sneak.
There you go. Walking across, bring this elbow across to my chest. Out from here, I want to bring this elbow to my sternum.
Ooh. I had to take a deep breath. And I felt you doing this. I want you to even focus even more. So before you inhale, tuck this elbow towards my belly button.
Okay.
When you hear me inhaling, I'm gasping for air. Totally fine. And try to keep them relaxed and just focus on what I'm walking these next to. Try it one more time.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it feels counterintuitive because you don't realize you're contracting these muscles. Woo.
Okay. So it's, again, it's just the patience.
It's
Do the micro movements.
it's why it's hard to finish because nobody teaches you to finish and it's just so I see. Yep. Did it affect your hands in any way?
No,
So you should be able to
I just go and go like calm.
slower the better. Breathing. Nice. So.
If you can get this, yeah, beautiful. If your wrist is bent, try to straighten your wrist this way. Yeah, oh, that got so much better. Now, try to think of bringing your elbow across. Woo!
Look, it's pleasing, yeah.
You don't even need to. You don't even need to. Stop being so jacked. No, the thing is, that was good. Sometimes when you get in the right position, the control positions make them realize, oh, we're already.
Yeah, I was just thinking the whole time, keep your elbow as big hands. And I kept getting off of it as I walked up, and I readjusted down to it. I never actually squeezed.
That's the thing, my next point is people always end up going, okay, I gotta choke him. And this isn't necessarily a choke. And what I'm showing is, it's the same here, so I'm gonna show you on Jason. How to fix that way. Usually we start at seatbelt here. And the reason why we start at seatbelt is so that you're a practitioner. So we all remember that we gotta come over the shoulder,
apply this, and I call it stabbing the heart and then grabbing the hand. Even a couple of weeks ago, I reflected myself and I did it incorrectly. And for some reason, I was on Tanner. He's like, take my back, and he looked at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you? We know that this is wrong. So stab the heart, grab the fatty portion of my hand. This is where we start at back control. But what I want to think of is, if I can't get this because he's already tucking his chin, he's twirling his shoulders, and I know I can't get under there, I'm going to go right to 2-on-1 on this side. The underhook side, I'm going to go to 2-on-1. What I'm trying to do is make him feel like this is a good defense, because he's immediately going to grab my chin from me. So what I'll do is I'll use this control to peel his hand off. Once I peel that hand off, it allows me to bring this elbow up. I might only get here. Ideally, I want to get way up here, but my forearm and my shoulders don't allow me to get there. And usually I'm sitting a lot lower. So I'm going to go here, seatbelt. He starts hand fighting, he tucks his shin, shrugs his shoulders. I go to 2-on-1. You use this underhook to peel. I immediately pop this up. And because he's good and strong here, this no longer becomes as important as coming out, going palm to palm, which you're not going to do right now. But instead what I can do is go right to my choke. And so what I'm doing is pushing his head down, now bring my hand, my knuckles out underneath his head. And if for some reason I get stuck here because he's starting to push his head back, I'm going to tell you to push your head back. I'm going to double down on making this smaller, bringing my elbow in, and I'm going to make a fist. I'm going to push his head forward into the choking mechanism. Trying to get a C4, I think. I can't remember C4, C5. 90 degree on his neck over my choking mechanism. So I'm going to seatbelt. He preemptively starts defending. I go to 2-on-1. He doesn't like this. This feels weird. I go to peel, grab his shoulder. Butterfly, walk it through.
Is that when I would get my head back to keep that hand from going?
Yeah, that's when you would now you get your head.
Okay.
So here, I'm coming to seatbelt. He fights preemptively. I go to 2-on-1. I fight to get here. I go here, and I push your head back. I can't get there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this hand, push his head forward, I dig my elbow deep, and then I make a fist, and I bring my elbows.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm using this rock climber grip to allow me to push this head forward. And I go back here, I make a fist, and I'm trying to drive his head forward. I'll show you what it feels like.
Jaw grinder.
On the leaving the chin tucked the whole time, it'll still go out, right?
Yeah, I'll show you the bulldog choke
Painful
before you leave. Before he leaves. But, so here I'm going to seatbelt, and you're slowly like 20%. I go to 2-on-1. And you're like, oh shit, I'm doing good. Opens this up. And you can tuck your chin if you want, you'll feel it. Boom. I go to this. Now your head goes back. And I'm like, I'm not wearing a bead. You can see this, Jason. I'm not wearing a bead. So, I rock climber grip, push his head, and I make a fist. I'm making that fist to push his head further away from me. Because I can't get behind here. I need these knuckles against his neck.
Yeah.
To get my elbows close together, but because he prevented me from getting in, I'm like, fine. Creating space to push his head forward. So again, I'm coming in. Don't get my seatbelt. I go to 2-on-1. I peel this one off. Punch through. Butterflies. He pushes back with his head. I can't get where I need to be. Felt that?
So did you skip the deltoid crawl because the hand was heating up already?
I had the rock climber grip. My elbow was able to come under.
Okay.
So try it on me, and then talk to it as best you can if you see it. Yeah. And both these hands go to this wrist. And then I start defending. Yes! Beautiful. You got a butterfly. You see how you make that little quick adjustment? Yeah. That's it, dig it. It can be done slowly. See how he brought my chin down?
Yeah. Well, he was able to keep.
I put it right on my collarbone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave it a pivot point.
No thumb. You don't need your thumb. You can use it, but you don't need it.
Okay.
Right? So they come up with it.
Oops, in front. Oh, okay, again.
Left hand. Pulls this.
Feel that.
Snap that through. Butterfly.
Now, I'm able to hit butt scoot there because you don't have hooks.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because we're going to be doing the seatbelt with the hooks in. But I want you to feel how what you did is you elevated your body to compress my head in.
Yeah.
There was no upward push pulling of my head, popping that doll head off. It was all. It adds a different element when you got hooks on because if they're taller than you, you gotta kind of loosen the hooks and climb up, spider crawl the back.
Yeah.
So
Like even doing it on the left, I have to.
yeah, what I'll do is I'll get if you get you laying here, I'll get to it.
On my back?
Doesn't really matter. I'm getting here, and then someone will start doing something where they go, "Oh, I'm safe," and they'll deny me getting the seatbelt. And that's fine. Now I'm just trying to finish it again. I don't need my hooks, so I'm already doing the chest compression, trying to get it from here. I don't even switch. Little Darcy and I
Oh, crushing my rib cage.
Yeah.
That's that too.
Yeah, so I'm trying to let him carry my weight. Whereas when we're being nice, I put my weight on my ass and my shins. And it feels like you can move around. But when I'm being kind of a dick with you guys, you're gonna watch my body positions. Now it's carrying all my weight. I'm encouraging you to go that way. I'm encouraging you to go this way. But he's still carrying my weight. Wherever he goes, he's like, I'm miserable. I'm trying to stay up on that with my active toes. It's that invisible jujitsu that it allows me to breathe and makes him have to carry my weight every time he breathes. So, but that's good.
That's where I find my adjustment in the dark. I'm still heavy on the straight reach.
Let me get you guys to do it to each other a couple times before we finish.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
2 minutes. Good job for that.
2 minutes. Oops, sorry.
You okay? Now head back up. There you go. See if you get to tap. One more time here. Or you can take turns one on one. It doesn't matter. I like doing two on one. John, you can get on your knees if you want. She'll get right up. You're gonna go to seatbelt, whichever seatbelt you want. 2 on 1. Boom. He goes with heel, punch it through, butterfly. Yep. Cool. You don't even need to make this. So, yeah. And that's just it. And then you also adjust it. What's going to really help is sometimes when you can't remember which way to go because you got to push it. This butterfly, choking hand, this other hand is not choking, goes on top. I think of making this butterfly because if I start walking these together, spider crawling, it falls right into place where I need it to be. Even though I know that I have to bring this hand over this bicep, it always confuses people. So I'm having to look away because I'm thinking, what's the mechanism? When I go here, I can already go here, but if they're big and strong, you start tucking their chin and you just
Because I'm big and strong.
and I want you to tuck your chin and shrug your shoulders so I have no neck access. He's gonna feel all over his jaw right now. You can see how over his jaw too. And if I use butterfly, I can try to finish here. But what I like to do is 2 things. I'll make a fist with this hand. I'm just pushing it, and now I'm pushing on the side. Or I'll do a short choke, which I can't do right now. I go for butterfly, palm up. I cable grip, and I pull my hand back, and I use this one on the shoulder blade, and I just crush his jaw.
So uncomfortable.
And there's a lot of things I can do here. I can do this. I don't think I'm going to do a bulldog choke. I can kind of ease up, rock climb grip, pull this way up, and get on the jaw. There's a couple of things I can do. 10 o'clock.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks, buddy.
See you next time. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
See you next time.
Is that good?
You guys sit down with her. You guys get to roll a little bit.
No, fine, but I was, we got before, so I didn't need it.
Yeah, that's good. Yes, because I was like, I'm gonna come back because my ab was the first time. Like none of that bothered my ab, which was great. Last time was my ab.
That's what I was thinking.
Dude, the internal surgery is different. Like I've had like 7 surgeries, and when they mess with your gut, it's like, yeah, I'm good, and then like something happens in there because there's so much stuff in there,
Yeah.
and you're like, no, I'm not good.
One thing's affected, the other, it's like my, I go to masseuse, and they're like, hey,